I think something that is universally agreed on now is that movies have kind of lost their spark. Whether it be the lack of new ideas resulting in remakes and sequels, or big corporations controlling the direction of a movie, which creates an unfortunate situation where either the director is boxed in or the camera work and cinematography becomes bland, making many movies look kind of gray and boring. Now, I know this is a widely talked about topic and it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but all this to say, it has been very refreshing to see some really great original movies this year. I mean, like Sinners and Weapons. Something that both of these movies have in common is that the filmmakers had the ability to play, in the sense that they had creative freedom to write and try things, even if they don't pan out right. I wanted to talk about a sequence in Weapons that really showcases this playful creative nature, but while doing research for that, I decided to familiarize myself with the director of that film.
This is a gallon of PCP. Wow!
Zach Cregger and his filmography. Cregger only really has one other notable horror movie to his name, and that is 2022's Barbarian. A horror movie, like Weapons, in the sense that, one, it's scary, and two, the creative and unhinged plot. There are plenty of videos talking about the contents of this movie and the other, and both of their messages, so that is trying to send, so I will be covering different aspects, and particularly parts of Barbarian that should really showcase Cregger's creativity, as a result of him, a filmmaker, having a complete control over their project, and why that is important to the future of movies and film in general. I would say most movies today seem to have a lot of recycled actors that are no longer playing characters, and more so just playing themselves. And I think you kind of know the type of actors I'm talking about here, so nevertheless, I think this is taken away from directors' talents to truly make a creative film, if certain characters already exist in other projects. For Cregger, he not only uses the actors that are usually prescribed to certain roles, but he uses the audience's knowledge of these actors against us to make a more interesting story. For example, in Barbarian, he has Bill Skarsgård, who's most famously known for being the clown in It, and not really being known for many other non-horror related roles. Instead of being this scary, evil villain he's in most movies, Cregger uses this knowledge of the character against us, and makes him just a normal, charming guy. He changes the tone of the movie so drastically that you almost forget that you're watching a horror movie. He also does this again with the subverting of expectations when he uses Justin Long as AJ. Throughout his career, Long has been cast as comedic relief for many roles. So that is exactly who I thought he was going to be, until he is revealed to be arguably an even worse monster than the supernatural mother that is the real villain of the story. At first, Cregger wanted to get Zac Efron as this role, which would have happened if this was a bigger budget blockbuster horror movie with more stakes, but I think that would weaken the film as a whole. This is another perfect example of a director that has been given free will to make his project. Had he been put in the position to make the most money, he probably would have gone with the Zac Efron type for the evil AJ, but I think that would have made the movie more predictable and shallow. Cregger's writing style, in my opinion, based off the two movies I have seen of his, really is concept-driven, and that is usually a negative, but finds a way to make it work. For most mainstream movies, twists are something you would only see or find in a mystery-centered story. Writing has become repetitive and predictable for most other film genres. Cregger's writing in this movie, and Weapons, is filled with an alarming amount of twists that actually work. Cregger talks about his writing style as writing just whatever he wanted to see play out next.
Just intuitive writing process. I really didn't think much about it beyond what's the next scene. I didn't outline this. I didn't know where it was going. I just wanted to surprise myself all the way through. And so I didn't think about it. And I actually think that was the best thing I could have done, is just let it be this fun. I wrote it in my garage late at night, It was just like a fun thing for me. I didn't ever think it was going to get made. Yeah.
And I think he does a great job of showing, not telling. That only strengthens both of these movies, specifically in Barbarian with the origin of the mother. Set up by the backstory of Frank, although some can be abrupt, is perfect for this movie because it adds even more questions, which sets up an even more unexpected twists. Almost every one of Cregger's scenes in this film adds more questions, and it is pretty remarkable, but never feels too much. As every scene you go into, you answer questions that you had before, but even adds more. Similar to how cutting off a snake's head can lead to 2 more, replacing it. Overall, Cregger's directing is something rare amongst most modern movies, as many of them are the result of clashing visions and corporate greed over profit over substance, and this is why I think there needs to be more directors who aren't afraid of telling a story that is unique and kind of off the rails. Because for both cases with Zach, he has followed his vision without the pressure of others forcing him to change. And more importantly, filmmakers should be allowed to see their visions go through, because both of these movies are pretty great. So I think you should go watch them.